You're listening to Where You Live with Gene and Tony.
That's the theme music to Downton Abbey.
Yes,
the
indeed.
hottest series on TV right now. We can't wait till the next season.
Well, they really wanted it played on our show.
They requested.
They requested
I
it.
see,
So
'cause
yes.
they needed a little more exposure, right?
Yeah.
This is Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We're broadcasting from the Natural Green Lawn and Landscape Studios. We're brought to you by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. As an American Family Insurance agent, Kim believes that there's much more to insurance than the policy itself. It's about providing you with dependable protection and services. Kim believes that trust and credibility cannot be demanded. It can only be earned by what you say and what you do. Give Kim a call at 651-482-1598 and tell her you heard it here. It's time for a message from the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association. The MHA Minute is brought to you by Start to Finish Maintenance Contractors. Start to Finish provides 24-hour service for all of your home and business maintenance needs. Call Start to Finish at 952-259-1219 for your home, for your business, for your peace of mind.
When you rent out your home, you automatically become a small business owner and are subject to all kinds of rules and regulations. Fair housing laws, rental licensing, CRPs, lead paint, radon, carbon dioxide, just to name a few. As someone who provides rental housing, you'll have to learn more about your community, your city council, and your law enforcement agencies than you ever imagined. But if you properly manage your business, you'll also become an important and positive partner in the community. The Minnesota Multi-Housing Association is the most comprehensive resource you'll find for everything you need to help you successfully manage your rental business. Visit mmha.com. That's two M's, mmha.com. Look around the website, download the free guide to successful property management, download the free brochure about the eviction process, and learn about the many ways you can turn your small business into a good business.
If you like what you hear on our program, or if you hate what you hear on our program, give us a call on our hotline and let us know your opinion. 952-224-2668. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes. And one last thing to all our listeners, we've got a free gift for you. A bi-monthly newsletter that we produce. It's called What's New. A lot of what you'll hear on the show we talk about in further detail. It's yours. It's a great resource. Over 23,000 people subscribe now.
That's wild.
And all you need to do to start receiving your copy is give us a call during the week at 952-922-2500. Ask for Lori. She'll make sure that you either start receiving it electronically or by mail. Our last story, Tony, is, again, we're going to turn to Colorado, and the legislature is in force there. And about a week and a half ago, there was an amended version of House Bill 1276, and it is a bill specifically designated to deal with homeowner association and how they collect debt and what they can do and can't do. Mm-hmm. And so there are just a few of the highlights of the bill. Be interested in seeing what you think. It begins by saying that if this bill is passed, it says homeowner associations are not permitted to refer delinquent accounts to a collection agency or legal counsel for action unless they've adopted and comply with a collection policy with specified minimum provisions. Now, of course, the legislature said, we know what those minimum provisions are. We'll give you the collection policy, too.
Well, they're saying it's not bad advice. It's good advice for an association to have a collections policy. We always ask for that. We ask our boards to work on that and come up with one so that we know how to deal with situations as they arise, correct?
Oh, yes.
That's right. Do you want us to send out a notice? Do you want us to make a phone call? When do you want us to turn it over to an attorney or a collection agency? So it is really important to have a written collections policy.
You're right. I don't disagree with you at all. It next says that as a part of that policy, they said homeowners must be provided with a notice of the delinquency and be informed that if the delinquency is not cured within 30 days, their account may be turned over to a collection agency or legal counsel for action.
Okay, so now the legislature is going on to say, and this is how your collection policy should read.
Yes.
Right? Again, what they're asking is not unreasonable. It's something we would recommend to our clients. Make sure you send a notice. It could have been an oversight. The homeowner maybe was out of town. Maybe the statement got lost in the mail. Whatever. Remind them that they're past due.
Here is my beef with politicians. Okay?
You have one?
I've got a beef.
All right, let's hear it.
Where's the beef? Right here.
It's right here.
And that is, there are politicians who want to stand up and say, there was an issue, a problem, but I solved it with this bill. And a number of times, a number of the provisions and things that are stated in the bill are general practices that are already taking place in society and with people.
Good point.
And so it is redundant. To me, it would be like saying we have a statutory law that says that you cannot destruct personal property of someone else, right?
Okay, right.
Now,
right.
do we need another bill, another law that specifically says, and we must not break windows of another person's home? You go,
we must
what?
not scratch their car. We must not,
Do you need another? Do we need to list it specifically? And I think that's a little bit what's happening here.
I see.
So that the politician can say on their 2-year cycle or 4-year cycle, hey, you know what? Look what I did. I'm a champion of the people.
I did something.
And it's really ridiculous because, like you said, any homeowner association, any property that we're aware of that has professional management, they have policies in place.
Of course they do.
And a lot of them, they already had them in place before we even got connected to them.
That's
too,
right. That's right. Before they were our client, you're saying.
Exactly.
It's a standard practice. Here's the third one that I think this is where they start to cross the line. Prior to a delinquent account being turned over to a collection agency, a homeowner has a one-time opportunity to enter into a 6-month payment plan with their association to cure the entire amount of the delinquency.
Yeah.
If the homeowner defaults on the payment plan or fails to pay the current assessments, the association may immediately proceed with other action to collect on the delinquency.
Okay.
Now we're really broadening the power of this law, right?
Yes, they are. But in so doing, they also leave a lot of things so vague that we don't know how it's going to be interpreted, but I have an idea how people will push it.
Yeah.
I can see it now. I can see the unintended consequences. So I don't like the idea that the state legislature in Colorado is saying you need to have a 6-month period of time to work this out. So the fact that they said that you have to wait 6 months because they won't allow a collection to take place unless there's at least 6 months worth.
That's the next point. We haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah. So they're saying they've got to be a half a year behind, and now we've got to give them a half a year to try and work out a payment plan. So if it doesn't work out, guess what? Now the homeowner association is 1 year behind the 8 ball, and now they can begin to foreclose, and now they can go through that, and guess what? They go through the foreclosure process, and we know there's the right of redemption. There's another 6 months. Now we're talking about 1.5 years, possibly 2 years in some states. I mean, that puts a huge financial burden on the existing homeowners who are being good about making their payments.
That's right. That's right. We also talked about the fact that we know how it is dealing with homeowners. They'll say, well, these first 2 months of my 6-month payment plan, I was still negotiating with you. I was still trying to arrange a payment plan. I told you I would pay $5 a month until month number 6, and then I would pay off the other $1,200.
Exactly.
So we need more specific, except I want them to leave it up to the association to decide these things.
Yes, I think it's better because it allows them to be able to have the freedom to do what is going to work best in their particular situation.
And you know what what legislators forget is homeowners associations want to help their members. If you start dictating time periods and processes, they're going to be locked into something where they don't get to give anyone any leeway.
Yeah.
That happens in rental all the time. tenants' rights activists want to limit us in all these different ways, and it gets down to, well, you know what? Then I can't rent to a bunch of people out there looking for housing because you've limited me in this way. And if I could have a little leeway on the amount of security deposits, I could rent to more people.
And I don't like the idea of, we're talking about a legislature that is basically an armchair quarterback.
Yeah,
you know,
on everything.
There are two people that are involved that have got skin in the game, and that's the association and this delinquent homeowner. They know what they can and can't do. It's not going to be any skin off in the nose for all of the advice that the legislature is going to give them. Well, hey, that's all the time we've got for today's show. Thanks for joining us. Have a great sunny rest of the weekend, everybody. We look forward to having you here next week on Where You Live. Don't you know to be loved by you? How sweet it is to be loved